Ladies and gentlemen, Freddie.
Shetty, welcome to our podcast. Today we have a special guest.
Dirty Curdy.
In the flesh.
Welcome to our show. Welcome to our podcast.
Thanks for having me, guys. It feels good being here.
Yeah,
before we even start, I have to say, I'm such a fan. I've watched all of Skezz's podcast. I watched the one with Mary Summers. I was so bummed I saw that they posted the one with Sky. I haven't watched it yet, but yeah,
that was a cool one. I love the one with Sky because I don't really know much about him until
we
started talking to him
and talking about it. Yeah.
He was working in a mental hospital before he moved to China.
That's crazy. Yeah, and then he was like an investigative journalist at one point or something.
As well.
Yeah, he's a cool dude.
Well, we appreciate you being a fan. I'm also a fan of your work.
Thank you very much.
The many bands that you formed in Shenzhen.
Oh God, too many.
Do you have
too many?
Do you have a count on how many?
Oh no, because at one point, especially in the early days, it was all the same band. It was like me, Adrian, and John,
right,
with a different frontman.
Okay.
So there were just so many names. There was
R&B.
There was R&B. There was feng shui. There was BPM. There was hump kick dance.
There's so many I don't even know.
Oh man, yeah, the early days when we were just trying to figure it out, there were so many.
And Dragon Turtle, was that you? No, that
Dragon Turtle. Yep, Dragon Turtle was probably the first big steady one that me and Adrian were in.
Was that a duo or is it a group bigger than just?
No, it was me, Adrian, and this dude Ian.
Okay.
Ian Harity on guitar. Yep, and that was cool. That was the first one that me and Adrian really took pretty seriously.
All right.
And then Ian left, and then which started Dirty Curdy,
which was like a solo operation.
And then Adrian heard it and wanted to play drums behind it. I was like, fuck yeah, dude. Adrian's, come on.
And
Adrian.
Dirty Curdy was kind of like, describe it. It was kind of you're kind of fucking around with some hip hop, some beats.
Right. It was it's actually kind of similar to what we're doing now. It was like a blend between psychedelia, Pink Floyd-y kind of guitars going on, but over dance beats and hip hop beats. It was definitely, and I used to wear a dress when I played live, so it was definitely a phase. And then Dirty Curdy just straight up imploded because the first time me and Adrian were about to play Shanghai, I broke my arm a week before.
Far.
A dumbass, skateboarding. A complete dumbass. Like a complete dumbass. And John multiple times told me dude, that's really fucking dumb. You're gonna break your arm.
Oh, he told you before you...
Before. And I was like, fuck you, man. That's never going to happen.
I'm still young.
Yeah, boom. 2 weeks later, crack in the road, arm done. Oh. And Adrian, of course, Adrian, this is his first time. He was going to play Shanghai, too. And, of course, Adrian was just like, man, I fucking quit, man.
Oh, really? He quit on you?
Yeah.
And that's when he started Vagina?
That's when he started taking Vagina, real serious after that. Because we went on one tour together, the Fleeting Fears tour, and it was Dirty Curdy and Vagina, and we would flip a coin who was opening and who was closing every night.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I don't even think I think we did it once, and then it was all right, you opened last night, I'll open tonight. But yeah, and then
Lips.
Yeah, and then Lips. Yeah. If I hadn't have broken my arm, Lips McKenzie would have never happened, which is probably by far my favorite band I've had up until this point.
Okay.
Ooh, just because that was all me. That was full creative
100%
control. Yeah, I was writing the songs. I was pretty much the driving force behind the direction of the band until Eric got comfortable in his role playing bass, and then he started bringing songs to the table, and then it started getting more collaborative. And it was that was really the first band where I didn't have to compromise what I wanted to do for other people's skill level or other people's tastes. It was collaborative. It was teamwork by the end. And
Lips McKenzie was kind of the psychedelic, kind of Grateful Dead, kind of Phish.
Phish ripoff.
Phish, what they would call a jam band, right?
Okay.
And they were just I don't know if you guys would improvise. On performances, but they kind of would have this the basic blueprint of the song, but then at one point they would just go off into some fucking tangent.
Oh yeah, that's there would be specific sections of a song that the actual song might be 3 minutes, But then when we played it live, it might be like 25 minutes. Because we would just go off in a jam, just complete, improvise, just get lost in it. It was, obviously a lot of fun.
What is the current band and the current status now?
The current band, which I think is a perfect fusion of my two favorite tastes of music, is No Disintegrations.
All right.
And it's jam band hip hop.
All right.
And I'm super into it.
And
It's
how many members in the band right now?
No Disintegrations is 3 people. It's a trio. It's me, SJ, the magnificent SJ, and Diego, who used to drum for John's project, Hello Watch.
Okay, I don't know Hello Watch.
That was such another great band that like John. They were so good, and John would just be like, "Oh, dude, this music sucks." Like I'm so self-conscious about it, and all of us would be like, "Dude, this band is so fucking sweet, man! Like promote, get it out there." And then, Colin Fields happened. But yeah, man. So it's Diego, and I'm doing all the instrumentation live with the looping pedal. So it's similar to Dirty Curdy.
All right.
So yeah, I have a special pedal that turns my guitar frequencies into bass frequencies.
So you can loop it and...
Yeah, like a chord progression or a line or something, lay a bass line over it, and then SJ raps on top of it. So it's like this perfect fusion of my two favorite styles of music, like hip hop and psychedelic jam bands, bro.
And that is the first time that you're playing with them, like now for this band, or in the previous band you already had collaborations or gigs. And
Yeah,
stuff?
I mean over the years we've all jammed together.
Right.
Like did open mics or whatever the fuck? Or?
Right. It was really just a timing thing. Just like everyone was open, everyone wanted to do something new. Like I hit up Diego, and then I think I ghosted him for like 2 months, and then I saw him at the Duck, and he was just like, "Dude, are we
gonna do
like,
it?
are we doing this?" Like, because I'm telling other people I might have something going on with you, and it's like, "Yeah, dude, I promise, we're totally doing it. We're making it happen, man." And then we finally did. It's been sweet. So
That's cool, man. That's cool.
Yeah.
And if you guys still haven't done like a live show or performance yet?
We've had 2.
Oh, you've had 2 already.
Yeah. But this time, sorry, ching down. This time, as opposed to like how we did with Lips, it's like with Lips, we just fucking wrote music. We pumped out maybe 20 songs in the first like 4 months of being a band, and just wanted to play live. We never even thought about recording. We tried recording once, it imploded, it completely failed. It was terrible. And with this band, we're trying to we have 7 songs down that are just tight products.
All right.
We played 2 shows. The first show, SJ was really sick, so it was just all instrumental. And it was fire. Like, the reaction we got from it, me and Diego couldn't believe, because we were so nervous. We're just like, oh my God, like, people are just going to listen to, like, psychedelic loops for, like, 45 minutes, and, like, people hate that shit.
No.
Like, no lyrics, none of that shit. People hate that shit. And we got a really good response from it. And then the next show we played with SJ, we just blew the roof off that motherfucker. And then that's when we were just like, okay, we got something pretty sweet going on. We should take it back, get in the studio, actually like
do some refinement.
We'll be professionals and like not act like we're rock stars when we're not. And just get it done. We just had I just came from our first studio session today.
All right.
Like recording.
Yeah.
Like laying down the album.
Yeah, man. Diego nailed out 7 songs in 4 hours. Like,
wow.
That's insane.
He's doing like the recording and the.
Yeah. We did
so
all
he's like
drums
your drummer
today.
and like the.
No. We had Marco in the sound booth.
Oh, okay.
Running the board, but 7 songs in 4 hours is fucking nuts, dude. And he's just so good, man. I'm so fortunate to be surrounded to have musicians that deal with my bullshit.
All right.
You know? I think you're pretty like you're a dramatic artist when it comes to like.
Who told you that?
I just no one told me anything about it. I just imagine like like you're in the fucking studio and someone plays the wrong chord and just fucking like
you should
evil eyes.
Oh,
at them,
dude, bro,
like,
you should
get your shit together, bro.
Oh
like,
man, you should absolutely ask Eric about some Lips McKenzie practice stories, man. There's like 2 other people lined up that want your fucking job, dude. Like get your fucking shit. Oh, dude. Yeah, we used to have this rule in Lips, like friendships get left at the door of the practice room.
And then pick them again afterwards.
And then as soon as we leave, you just pick it right back up.
Fucking all you need is like 1 beer afterwards and everything's fucking cool.
Beers and tears. That's what we used to call it, man. Yep.
Well, where is going to be your next gig?
It's probably going to be our album release party.
Oh, okay. So when is it? Can we announce it already, or or is it not organized yet?
It's in the works.
All right.
So like I said, right now we're just focusing.
You guys have to go back in the studio to finish it, or you just finish everything today for the
No,
album?
I got to be in there tomorrow because I'm laying down guitar and bass tracks tomorrow.
Okay.
And then SJ is Monday for vocals. So yeah, tentatively October, probably after national holiday.
All right.
Is what we're thinking. But after the studio time, we're really just taking the time to promote it, set up the social media, all that stuff. October.
Oh, we should do a Halloween party.
That was mind bullets, bro.
You know, like Skezz hit me up recently and was like, we should do a Halloween party.
And you know what, man? Keep this on the DL. But I was going to hit up Skezz to see if we could also do it at MPK.
Yeah, I was about to say, man.
Yeah.
It's a perfect location.
That venue
dude.
is like perfect, man.
Be sweet. Get a couple of local MCs to open up the show.
Yeah.
We could make that happen, man.
For
write
sure,
that,
man.
Write that down in the magic notebook over
it's
there.
in-
Yeah.
Well, it's recorded.
It's recorded, right? Yeah, we have it on record.
It's proved. It's proved.
It's tickling the brain.
Skezz Phonic, we're doing it now. It's recorded on the podcast, buddy.
Yeah, man, that's fuck. Like every time like Halloween comes around, I'm just like,
Oh, dude, and what glorious memories.
Because just for the
Halloweens,
audience
man.
who doesn't know, of course I know you both, that there is a bit of a backstory behind the Halloween parties that you guys have been organized some in the past. So that's quite something to remember.
I even feel guilty with you just saying you guys organized it because it was all that guy. Like, you know, I just got drunk and played the bass, dude. Like, and it was great. Some of the biggest crowds I've ever played in front of were because he set up these crazy parties. You know,
Halloween is the first party you performed at? I mean, at my party.
Yeah. The
Dome.
Yeah, the original one at the Dome. Yeah.
That was fucking insane, dude.
Didn't we do a second one at the Dome too? That it was just like a one-off, like Shady Monkey party at the Dome.
It could have been. Maybe.
Because I remember, yeah, there had to been, or maybe somebody else set it up at the Dome.
We did an anniversary party there, and then we did a party with the Real Deal there, but I don't.
Yeah, no,
It's all blurred. Like
Right,
so many
right.
parties. Just feel like,
Right.
I mean, the only ones that are not a blur are the Halloween ones, because like I'm a huge Halloween fan, and like I put a lot of fucking time and effort into trying to make it like something cool
An event,
and special,
man.
and like
It was
trying to
back,
think.
man.
we owned Halloween. Nobody.
Oh, dude, I remember that last year we did it. Like, other people talking about putting on Halloween parties and just being like, "Pfft, dude, no. It's like, what are you thinking? It's like, it's not going to happen.
Yeah, I mean, it was like, and especially like the last venue, the boat.
Ship.
I mean, there's no fucking better place to do a Halloween party inside a fucking pirate boat, dude.
Like a haunted pirate boat.
I mean, like, it's
Yeah.
just like, it was just like a perfect, and that party was fucking epic, dude.
Man, like, there's actually a funny story behind this one. I really wanted to play some Jurassic 5. And, like, we were at that point where it was like, do people want, like, old school classic hip-hop or, like, the cool underground hip-hop that, like, you're really cool if you know that band? Or do we just go, like, no shame and just play, like, the hits?
Right.
And I brought up What's Golden by J5. And John and Adrian, I think both, like, shot it down immediately. They're like, dude, it's a great song, but, like, I don't think anybody knows it. And I was like, no, we're doing it.
Put
We're
your foot
doing
down.
J5. We're doing it. And I remember when we busted into that, just seeing, like, the wave of recognition. Just like, they're playing J5.
And as soon as like the beat hits, you know, like the melody.
And, like, I remember walking off stage and John just being like,
Good one.
yeah, that was a good call. Yeah.
Yeah, I was fucking. No, I mean for me, like you guys, the MCs were cool and stuff like that. But like my favorite part about the parties are what you guys did on stage. You know, like I organized it, and people fortunately came, but it had nothing to do about me. Why people enjoyed the event. And that was all you guys, the artists. And shit like
dude.
that.
I mean, back in those days, man. I mean, you know, we were talking about, like, not being at my wit's end of living here, but feeling a little nostalgic about living here. So I feel like back then, man, it was way more of a community. You know, there's so many more people, like, collaborating and working together on projects. And it was like, I don't know, like New York in the 80s, man.
Right.
And I just feel like now those people who have collaborated in that scene have gone on to like really mature and start a business and, you know, do that whole thing and like progress. And recently, I don't know if you want to say because of visa restrictions or teaching jobs or whatever, there hasn't been any of that like new blood coming in to like keep that homegrown crowd alive. So that was always cool to me with those big parties. It's just like there's maybe, 2,000 people there? And you knew like 1,500 of them.
Right.
And that just doesn't happen anymore. So.
Yeah, I don't even recognize half the people anymore.
Well, you know, I was telling you, like, I was in Bionic for the first time last Saturday. I was like, yeah, fuck yeah, dude. I haven't been to Bionic in a while. Like, walked in there and it was just like,
hello.
Hey, Joe.
Remember
What's up,
me?
old buddy? I don't know anybody in here. I know.
Did you play in Bionic back in Baishizhou and stuff? You had gigs in there, or
In that area, I mean, we played at Magma.
at Magma, of course.
Yeah. We played at Magma a couple times. I used to jam there a bunch too.
Magma was a cool spot, man.
Oh, dude, the coolest.
Oh man, that was
that was like the nexus of creativity back in the day, man. We did one of the coolest events I've ever done that completely fucking tanked at Magma.
Which one?
It was called Colors of the Moment.
okay.
Where like me and Adrian, we just set up like spaceship style like music equipment, and we hired 2 like amateur artists to come and paint while we just improv'd for 2.5 hours.
Wow.
Like we turned off all the lights. Neil hung like all this crazy lighting and stuff up everywhere, and we were like, yeah, like we're just gonna like get weird with it. Like 2 people showed up.
And they were painting the wall.
And they were the people painting, yeah. But me and Adrian had a blast, and I think he still has both of those paintings that were finished at the end, and it was magical, and nobody was there to experience it.
Wow.
Which I kind of want to keep it that way. You know, if you were there, man.
Otherwise, you lost it. You missed it.
Right.
Yeah, nice.
Right.
Nice.
Yeah, I think like the closing of like Magma and the Magma and like the Bionic fucking synergy was just so perfect.
Right.
The area and the crowd
You know?
around, it was quite a
Right.
last underground scene or spot.
Kind of stronghold, right?
Yeah, I mean they're kind of like Rap sold it together for a while.
Right. And
You
you
know?
remember even after Raps closed, we were kind of like searching for a spot. Like I remember Bang Club. You remember Bang Club?
Right? Yeah.
Hit me up to like start an open mic there. And it was just like,
Well,
all right, man.
really?
I'll take your money, but like I don't. You're gonna get like Grateful Dead tunes.
Yeah.
And we actually like that never turned into anything nearly Raps related, but you know, people from the community would come hang out, and it was this kind of weird like, whoa, we're at Bang Club like playing guitar, man. You know? Yeah. So yeah, man. I mean, like when I personally consider that kind of the beginning of the end. Because like Magma tried to keep it alive, and they tried so hard at that place in Checo, and there were
Dolores.
Dolores Park, yeah.
But Dolores wasn't the same as
Right.
the Baishizhou
Right.
spot.
There were some pretty badass shows there, though, man.
Oh, there were some great shows, but it didn't have the same kind of
Flavor. Like,
Right, it didn't have
Yes.
the same kind of vibe going on.
Yeah, the same vibe. You know?
Right. But yeah, man, I remember that's probably the best Thin City show I've ever seen. Like, I don't know if you know the band Thin City. That was pretty big around here for a while. It's like their frontman Graham. I had an epiphany watching this dude perform.
All right.
It's like it was the coolest thing ever. Like the place, Dolores Park. It's all dark. They have like rope lights. It's all like ghetto rope lights on the front of the stage to mark off where the musicians are. And he has his sunglasses on, like indoors. Okay, and there's feedbacks from the amp. Everything sound like shit. Blah 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 blah. We're all standing around waiting for the show, and he just comes up to the microphone and goes like, "It's too quiet. What is this, a fucking movie theater or something?" Like right into the first song, and I was just like, that is the coolest fucking thing I've ever seen. Holy shit. So they had crazy shows there, man. I remember going to see like,
You had a great show there.
we did, man, and I remember going back the next day and Ito just being like, we sold out half the bar.
On that night?
Yeah,
Fuck,
it's
dude.
like everyone just drank so much. I've never been so proud of any band I've been in.
Yeah, no, nice.
So yeah, man.
So how did it start with like music with you? Like
with me personally?
Yeah, with you personally.
Oh man, I mean, like my dad was a radio guy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he was at one point was the #1 listened to man in Philadelphia, and it was an oldies station.
So,
like for music radio, for
yeah. It was like funk, soul, like old school, like Otis Redding kind of stuff.
Nice.
So he would pick the music and then play it?
No. He was like the sports news and weather guy, but it's like in between his shows, this music would play.
Okay.
And every year he would just get like the compilation of like 1950s greatest hits, and that shit was always on in my house.
Right.
Like I totally accredit my love of funk and then tangentially my love for hip hop music to my dad. 100%.
So your dad would play hip hop at home and
never hit. No. Like I remember bringing home the hip hop records and my dad just being like, "Oh, okay, all right. I knew this day would come." You know, like,
we have to have a talk, son. Sit down. This shit's not allowed in my house.
It definitely never got that far for sure. But like his love of funk music, like is definitely like what played into me getting into hip hop 100%.
Right.
So music was always a huge part of my house. My mom's a ripping piano player and like ragtime piano, like the stuff you would hear in like a Wild West bar. It's like, you know, I would come home, my mom's got like the maple leaf rag going and shit.
So your mom's a musician?
Yeah. My mom always used to sing in like the community choir.
Growing up in a musical environment.
Pretty much.
Right.
And then my first concert ever actually was Talib Kweli.
Oh no shit.
Yeah, that you know my older brother also was crazy influential in all this. I wasn't allowed to have parental advisory CDs.
Oh really?
And like anytime my brother went to college, he would just like smuggle me home like fucking like DMX, like Flesh of the Blood of My Flesh, whatever that album is. Like the Tenacious D album was my birthday present one year and shit like that. But he took me to this Talib Kweli concert. And we met Talib Kweli, which was that was a pretty sweet moment. And then it was years after that where he took me to my next concert, which was my first jam band show.
Phish?
Freeze McGee. Oh, dude, I hated Phish.
Oh, really?
Oh, dude, I got dragged kicking and screaming to my first Phish show.
How old were you when you went to your first Phish show?
First Phish show? I was in college at that point, so it was what?
Were you playing music already?
Yeah. I was already deep into playing guitar.
So how old were you when you started playing guitar?
I started playing guitar, I was 15 when I got my first guitar, when my mom bought me my first guitar.
Right.
But even till up to that point, man, I played piano growing up.
Okay.
I always sang in the choir. I was in every like school musical. I mean, like I was like Marcellus in The Music Man, singing the Shipoopi, you know. And yeah, like it's beautifully cliche story. I wanted to get a bass for so long, and my mom was just like, no. It's going to be too loud. Like, it's going to annoy, like, your siblings and us. Like, no,
the
like,
neighbors
play an instrument, like, get back to the piano, blah, 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 blah.
This is before you got the guitar?
Yeah. And then my first girlfriend broke my heart. Like, bad.
Why?
I was just, like, teenage puppy love, dude. Right. I was, like, 15. And it was perfect. My mom was basically just like, it's time.
Now you deserve it.
She bought me an acoustic guitar, yeah.
Oh, so it wasn't a bass. So when your girlfriend dumped you, your mom fucking saw your broken heart and was like, okay, son.
She bought me a guitar. And like I had friends
give you something real to love.
Right. Or like, I love you, channel your emotions in a more constructive way, you know. But I also had friends that were guitar players and, you know, the classic, just like, oh, dude, that's so cool. And, like, they get laid all the time. So
it definitely, like, helps coming from, like, a piano background and reading music.
Oh, dude.
You pick up the guitar, like, you know the chord, like, the chords and shit
100%.
Like
and, like, even when I started studying music theory in college, this was, like... Now, I love my music theory professor, but at the time, it was like one of the most condescending things ever.
Right.
I signed up for the music program, and I was like, I want to sign up for Music Theory 1. And she was basically just like, ooh. Yeah, you're going to have to start with the fundamentals of music.
Oh, like the bottom of the
Like,
barrel?
this is a quarter note.
Right.
This is a half note. And just being like, okay, like... I play guitar, I used to play piano, I sing in the choir, blah, 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 blah. Like, give me a shot. She's just like, okay, but I don't think you're going to last. And God fucking damn it, she was almost right.
Oh, really?
Oh, dude, I was the runt of my music theory class. Like, these dudes coming in just like, yeah, I played classical tuba in high school, and I can recite, like, every key change in every Beethoven song ever. And me just being like, I'm really into Phish. Like, John Coltrane's cool. I don't know, what am I doing? I don't know. Like, and God bless this woman's soul, Dr. Sorkin. Shout out to Dr. Sorkin. She stuck with me this entire time. And like by the end of my career at St. Joe's, she was my favorite professor. Hands down. Yeah, man.
She pulled it out.
Yep. So, but yeah, I mean, after all that time studying music theory, I moved to Shenzhen and started playing Jason Mraz every night.
You finished university and then came directly to China?
Dude, just like hopped on a plane I worked for that summer, and I came to China with
like saved up some summer money
with like $1,500 in my bank account or some shit. And like,
and what was like the thing that like
the trigger?
The trigger. Like, were you?
Oh man, I was an English lit major and a music theory minor. Like, I took my vows of poverty early, bro. And like,
no, but something came in your
Why
brain.
China?
Well, I always wanted to travel, and I like
big money in China as English teachers. It's easy.
Honestly, there's
girls. There's
we're early in the podcast. Don't get to all that. But I always wanted to travel, and like I sacrificed possibly doing a semester abroad in India for this band that I was playing in.
Oh, okay.
And I say sacrificed meaning like it was a thought that I had, and then the band was like, "Don't do that," and I was like, "Okay."
That was it.
Yeah, like I had a roommate at the time who actually lives here now. It was just like, "Yo, dude, I like turning down this teaching job in China, but you've talked about traveling. Like, you should look into it." And it was just like, "Yup, I'm in." And then, yeah, I think worked for 2 months, hopped on a plane, came here.
Shenzhen was very first destination, and
no, Beijing. I flew into Beijing because I came in with a teaching company called CTLC.
Okay.
And they were great with like China immersion. Picked you up at the airport. Like, we had 40 days of TEFL training and Chinese lessons before we even got to live on our own.
Right.
Like, we were living in a hotel with all CTLC people. And then we came down to Shenzhen after Beijing. And then I met Adrian Blackstock at the Silver Lake Hotel. First day in Shenzhen.
Oh, yeah?
First day in Shenzhen?
Yeah.
So how'd you guys meet? I mean, why were you just staying at this hotel?
He was working for the same teaching company.
Oh, so you guys were like put into the same spot.
Right. And like he came in the year ahead of me. So like he didn't have to go through the Beijing stuff. It was just like he had his summer holiday, and it was like, make sure you're back by the start of the semester. And of course, we had the big start of the semester banquet at this big fancy hotel with a pool. I was talking to one of the coordinators about wanting to play music, and they're like, "Well, you got to talk to this guy." And Adrian Blackstock is like, "Yo, what up, man?" Just like, "Hey, what kind of music you like, bro?" Funk music. All right, this guy's all right. It was like, dude, it's the coolest dude I've ever met. And yeah, that was the start of a lifelong bromance. I proposed to him the other day.
Oh, did you?
Kind of. It was actually my mom's idea.
You getting desperate? The four of you could
just start our own polyamorous cult thing in Valencia.
Like, fuse together, dude.
I mean, I wouldn't be opposed to that. I loved the guy so much. But it was so funny. I was talking to my mom. Just like, yeah, like I would love to move to Valencia. Adrian's in Valencia. Like, I could buy a house in Valencia tomorrow if I really just like put my fucking mind to it. And my mom was just like, "You miss Adrian, don't you?" Like, yeah. She's like, "You guys just need to get married already." And I was like, "God damn it, that's a great idea." I just messaged him. It had to be like 2 a.m. in Spain. Messaged him. It was just like, "Dude, bro, let's get married."
So did he reject you?
A couple hours later, I just got like a ha ha ha. Let's do it.
Oh, fuck, dude.
In Valencia, is it legit? So
is it legit to be married to more than one person?
I'm not sure about that, but same-sex marriage.
Yeah, I would assume so, but like,
It's 2021, dude. You know, if you're not into the same sex thing,
we should be able to just like merge marriages. You know.
I mean, I think that's kind of the next step, bro. We'll see. That'd be dope.
Yeah.
Anyway, moving on from my homosexual infatuation with Adrian Blackstock. But
And so then, when was like the first time? Well, actually, can I put a pause in the story? Because one thing that you mentioned that I wanted to get back to was when you went to your first, because this has a big influence on your music career and on your whole music style, is that you were like kicking and screaming not to go to a Phish concert.
oh, dude, man, it's hilarious. It's so funny, man. Like, I was really into this other jam band, Humphreys McGee. It was not nearly as big as Phish. Kick-ass band, not nearly as big. And like, me and my brother were like the biggest shitheads about it. Their guitar player is top 3 best guitar player in the world, Humphreys McGee.
McGee?
Humphreys McGee. Dude, their guitar player is like a fucking robot. It's insane. And like, at that point, listening to Phish, it just kind of sounded like some dude like noodling on a guitar to me. You know, like these kind of melodic notes, and then you have this guy in Humphreys McGee, like, like lightning quick guitar licks.
Like some Steve Vai shit?
Oh, dude, all over the place. Like he would play like some Steve Vai stuff, and then like just jump into like a bluegrass solo.
Right,
this guy could just turn on a dime. Anyway, my brother actually once got in a fucking slap boxing match with his best friend, because like this dude was super into Phish. My brother was super into Humphreys McGee, and they got in a slap boxing match about what guitar player was better. I don't think I've heard anything more fucking stupid than that. But it got to that level. And this guy, this same friend, like was going to a Phish show in Camden, New Jersey, had an extra ticket, knew I was getting really into guitar playing, and was just like, dude, just come with me, man. Just do it. It's like, all right, like, do I have to,
free.
Yeah, basically. It was just like, all right, I don't have to pay for this ticket. Like, all right, I'll give you gas money. Cool. And like, I can't describe it, dude. Within the first 3 minutes of that show, it's like Trey Anastasio, the guitar player from Phish, built up this solo so beautifully, and it just nailed this one glory note without having to play like super fast. It was just the tension and release of this one note. And I just saw 20,000 people. I was back in the cheap seats. 20,000 people all just like lose their shit to like the sun setting over Philadelphia. And that was like, it's like, that is power. That is musical power. That man just united 20,000 people into a frenzy with one note. Like, and from then I was like completely obsessed. Still totally like completely obsessed to like a creepy degree. Curt, let's talk about politics. Yeah, okay, Phish. Yeah, right. Yeah. Dude, I was listening to Phish the other day. Curt, you don't say.
Do you know Phish?
I know some songs.
It's crazy,
but it's not big outside of the U.S.
I would say
it's very much like Phish and the Grateful Dead are very much representative of just like straight up American culture. Like,
but they have like a huge fucking following. Like,
yeah,
like they anywhere they go, they fucking sell out, dude. Like whether or not it could be like a fucking football stadium or whatever the fuck.
They sold out 17 nights at the same venue. 17 nights straight.
In a row?
Yeah. 13. Sorry, it's 13. 13 nights straight.
I mean, it's crazy. Like, they don't get any fucking radio play. They're never... 13 nights. They're never fucking...
Up, Siri.
Even Siri doesn't know Phish.
I'm sorry, Curt. You're a dumbass.
No, but there's some of these musicians. For example, there is one in Italy called Vasco Rossi. Of course, he sings in Italian. He's the biggest rock player. He sold out for 3 or 4 nights in a row San Siro, which is the stadium in Rome, that not even, I don't know who it was, the Rolling Stones or Bruce Springsteen managed to do. But of course, nobody knows him outside of Italy in a big fashion way.
Right, it's just kind of like a national treasure kind of thing. Yeah. Yeah, man. I mean,
how old are they? I mean, what generation is it?
Well, that's. I mean, they were huge in the 90s.
In the 90s, right?
From like 93 to 2000 was like just like their reign.
I mean, you say their popularity waned since.
Well, dude, like, so they broke up twice.
Oh yeah.
And like the first time they broke up is because they made it to the height of their career and they were just like, it's not gonna get any bigger than this. We want to go out on top. They played the Y2K concert in like this like deep like swamp in Florida. It's like 90,000 people showed up. They took the stage at midnight and they played until the sun came up the next day.
No fucking way.
And like after that, they're just like, we're done.
That's it.
We're not gonna get any better than this.
And this was before you got into them?
Yeah, this was 2000, man. I was in like 9th grade when that happened.
Okay.
And it's so funny too, man. Like, you know, I say I'm from Philadelphia, but I'm from outside of Philadelphia. You know, kind of like it's, you know, pretty podunk, Pennsylvania. You know, there's a lot of stop signs and cows and cornfields, you know. And I remember hearing about Phish during this time when I was in like 4th, 5th grade, but it was always just like, oh, that's what the hippies listen to.
Right.
You know? And yeah, no. Crazy. We could totally just turn this into the Phish podcast, man. I could talk about Phish all day.
Are they still together?
Yeah, man. They're actually. I hit up Eric the other day because they're playing in Eugene, Oregon, like around my birthday weekend. And of course, I'm not gonna be able to make it home. I was just like, dude,
you gotta go.
I will buy you and Mick tickets to get to the show, like just to like live vicariously through you. And he was just like, yeah, all right, okay.
He's never been to a Phish show, right?
Never. Like, he knew Phish existed until, like, well, no, and then he met me and was just like, whoa, I don't really like it, but you love it. Like, and then I forced him to play in a Phish-style band.
Did they release albums and shit like that?
I was about to ask you.
Yeah. I mean
they had, like, music videos or anything like this?
There's one music video from 1994 that's just, like, bad. It's just terrible. It's,
only one.
Yeah, it's like them swimming in a fish
like
tank.
How big this band is? One music video.
And yeah, they release albums, but like no true Phish fan like actually listens to them. It's like you go online and download a show.
Oh, okay.
Because like the set list is different every night. They have a repertoire of like 300 songs that every night it's different songs, and then they jam on top of it. It's like a song. Again, a song might be 5 minutes. And then live, it's half an hour.
So every time you listen to the song, it's different.
It's different, yeah. And it's just what keeps people coming back.
Right.
And how would you compare like Phish to the Grateful Dead?
I mean,
because I think a lot. Maybe this is my ignorance talking, but I think a lot of like Grateful Dead fans kind of like transferred over to the Phish once like the Dead was.
Oh, dude! Once Jerry died,
once it was finished, yeah.
Yeah, for sure. That's Phish really hit it big in '95, purely because Jerry Garcia died. Oh. Their bass player, like the day it happened, because they knew that was what was going to happen after Jerry died, and their bass player wrote a letter like to their fans and it just said like, I am not happy about this, but like about Jerry dying.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, it was just like, I am not happy about this, but like our lives are about to change fucking drastically. They went from playing like 500-person theaters to like 20,000 person stadiums in 6 months.
Fuck.
Yeah, dude, that's intense. I couldn't imagine.
Was one of them
like
part
an accident? Was it like an
was one of them
overdose
part of
or
the Grateful Dead?
Yeah.
What's that?
Was one of the members of Phish part of the Grateful Dead?
No.
It was just happened to be like kind of like similar style of
Right.
sound.
It's like if you were part of the Dead community, there's still this stupid like jam band toxicity going on. Like people that are super into the Dead would be like, oh, like Phish sucks, or like people that are super into Phish would be like, oh, like the Dead, like my dad listens to the Dead, you know, blah. And like when that happened, people from the Phish community actually started getting like pissed that like Deadheads were coming in troves to Phish shows and like ruining the scene, dude. Fuck that bullshit, you know? Like, so that's crazy, man. I couldn't imagine that. Number one, I couldn't imagine hopping on stage in front of 20,000 people to begin with. But like, I think the biggest show that Lips ever played was maybe like 200 people. And then if you told me like, oh yeah, dude, like in 4 months, like you're selling out Madison Square Garden, I'd just be like,
fuck that.
All right, okay. Like, I already have anxiety, and now I don't even know what this is called. It's so bad.
Whoa.
Couldn't even imagine. Such a crazy story.
95. And how long was Phish already around pre-95?
They started in 1983.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, so they were grinding for a while. Like, just, and again,
before them.
Yeah, like, just, like, building up this community that was super underground. Like, they used to have, like, farm parties in, like, the late 80s where, like...
It's like hippie commune parties.
Totally,
and shit like
100%.
that.
They would message, like, the government, like, bureau, like, the municipality to be like, yo, we need to rent, like, porta potties and, like, a water truck. Because we're having this big party. And then, like, just be like, yeah, sure, fine. And then they would throw these massive, like, hippie farm parties. Like in
the middle of nowhere.
In the middle of nowhere. Like in the middle of like
Like
Vermont,
some,
like
some
up
like
in the mountains somewhere.
Small scale Woodstock or some shit.
Basically, yeah. There's videos of it on YouTube. If you look up like Phish Amy's Farm or Arrowhead Ranch, either one of those shows, it's just mayhem. It's just insane. Like,
I'll look it up. We will put a link around here.
Yeah.
To check it.
Sign our listeners need to check out Amy's Farm and Arrowhead Ranch Phish 1991. Can't go wrong. You heard it from Dirty Curdy.
Oh man,
Fuck, dude.
how do you feel about bringing your music into an audience in a city like Shenzhen, where of course there's a rather big expat community, but you're also facing a lot of locals and locals that lived abroad and so on?
I mean, so this has always kind of been the eternal question, right? Especially with like the kind of music that I've been playing,
Right.
jam band style music, we'll say. Like I said with Phish and the Grateful Dead, that is so uniquely American that like whether it's the expat community or the local community, it's always just been like different
Oh, okay, yeah.
for people to a good and bad degree. Like I remember convincing Adrian and Dragon Turtle like jam and him just being like, dude, nobody wants to sit around and listen to us just like wank on our instruments for 10 minutes.
That's
you
what
know?
open mic is for.
Well, basically, yeah. And like we had like, I still have people coming up to me just like, dude, Lips McKenzie was like something like I've never heard before, man. And just being like, dude, in Philadelphia, we'd get made fun of because we just ripped off Phish, like with no shame. And like... but like it's a totally different sound. It's like doesn't really exist anywhere other than
Exactly. That's
in the States. So I think with this new project, what I'm looking forward to is it's gonna be way more relatable to everybody. Just
more inclusive for the audience, kind of
to
more.
everybody, just because of the massive rise in hip hop globally in the past like 5 years.
Right.
You know, like we tried doing that with Lips McKenzie where like Eric would rap, or like freestyle over jams and stuff. And it was cool. We loved it, but it was still like a little too unrefined. Like the whole point with this is to take that jam band sound, take what I like about it, take out what audiences don't like about it,
Right.
and combine it with the accessibility of hip hop. And like I said, the 2 shows that we've played, like the critical response has been, quite frankly, a little overwhelming.
Wow.
So
I think because it has much more to do with the experience of you listening to it rather than just liking the music.
Right.
You
Right.
can feel that there is like.
well, I mean, that's always, in any band, how I've always approached like playing a show. Like personally, I hate recording. Like my personal preference, like I just don't think that's how music should be experienced. Like music is meant to be experienced live in the moment. And that's part of the reason why I love jam bands and I love jazz, because that improvisational element, if you watch someone that is truly a master at it, like you are witnessing something beautiful live that's never going to happen again.
Right.
But it's a little bit flawed though, because music needs to be recorded. Otherwise, how would we experience like the greats? How would we experience like Duke Ellington?
How would the greats be like? What's the word I'm looking for? Like,
how would they be live? Fucking much more amazing, as all music is.
Right.
But you imagine like all the music we could never listen to if it was never recorded.
Right. True. I mean, and I always like to
so
think
it should be recorded. It's like a.
Absolutely. Like I misspoke. That is absolutely an essential part of, we'll say, like the art of music. Is it needs to be recorded because it's a time capsule. Music is a time capsule. You know, like I can go back and listen to that first Humphreys McGee show I went to, even from like listening to the crowd noise before they even play the first note. I am already just like boom in that moment, right? So, yes, sure, that is important. The word is slipping my head. In order to retain and like preserve, that's what I'm looking for. Preserve these greats and these pieces of art. Absolutely. But do I think the main source of consumption should be like Spotify plays or album sales? Personally, I don't think so. And it makes me feel really awesome knowing that, well, before COVID, album sales didn't mean shit anymore. Like touring was what it was all about. And like that's only going to continue to rise as lockdowns loosen and people can go see live music now. Yeah. Which that's really fucking cool to me.
Yeah, but also, I mean, let's put it into perspective of the nowadays market. As a band, you're not, I mean, in terms of monetizing, you're not looking anymore at selling albums.
Album sales aren't, right, yeah.
You make money on the live, on the performance, on the gadgets and accessories, because you sell your rights, whatever, to even Spotify, you make a little chunk, but that helps you promote your own being into a live performance and all the rest.
Right, so, right. And I personally, I know for specifically, we'll call them like middle-level musicians, that has to suck. Okay, like maybe it's your debut album, you're not making a bunch of money yet, and it's a hit, but like you got to get on the road and grind for like 200 days out of the year. No. I get it. Personally, I would love to be on the road for 200 days out of the year.
I mean, that's the job, though. I mean, if you want to be a musician, you want to hit that fucking point where you can fucking tour 200 days out of the year.
Well, until you hit like Snoop Dogg status, that's just like, I'm going to do one show and make like 250 million.
But you got to get to that point first.
Exactly. Right. You got to grind to that point.
There's a point where you're fucking playing open mics, and then you're one of like, it's like a fucking little sperm, dude. You're going to be that fucking one little guy that's going to make it to the end, you know? Like, some of them will make it
to fertilize that Madison Square Garden egg.
You know, most of them don't leave the open mics. And then, like, some of them are going to do some touring. And then some of them are going to fucking do some touring for a few years, you know? And then some of them are going to fucking make it, you know?
And you know, one of the crazy things, I was reading recently, maybe no more than 10 days ago, that, like, Sony canceled all the debts of many artists they had with them, and I was like, well, why do the artists have debts with Sony? And then I was reading, basically, in the market perspective, already since like 15, 20 years ago, and it was this sample case of TLC, a very big pop band.
Right.
They were down $2 million because basically Sony, when they sign up, they basically pay for you to make, let's say, the videos and the album.
Right.
But it's like they are giving you money.
Well, it's like a loan.
It's like a loan.
Yeah.
You have to pay it back with the sales out of the albums or out of the listening. Then, if you're not big on the live, you're not putting money on your pocket. The money from the album goes back to the
record label. Yeah.
So that's a fucking closing.
That's indentured servitude is what it is,
yeah,
man. You know. And again, you know, we can go back and forth about, you know, the flaws and positives of the music industry, but one good thing about this whole like live service streaming thing going on is like people can do anything independently now.
Exactly.
Like
much more easier to access the
right. Like the whole idea of like getting signed, man, like doesn't really exist anymore.
You don't need it.
Right. You don't need it.
I mean, I think eventually you need it when you get like enough followers, or maybe you need like a.
Once you hit a certain level, you're probably going to need at least like a management company to, you know,
to handle all
figure your shit out. Yeah. But like even like Phish has their own record label. Like they just put everything out on their own. Like I think they were signed with Elektra throughout the 90s.
Do they produce other bands too?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. There are other people that they help come up. And same with another big jam band, the String Cheese Incident. They have like SCI Records where like they find up and coming jam bands and just kind of like help them out. And yeah, like you can just do that now. Like the idea of an independent label is a realistic
goal.
There
is physical examples from Arctic Monkeys, that I think is one of the first that made it on their own, from Ryan and Macklemore, that in the hip hop and R&B cracked asses with the first video already over 200 million YouTube views and stuff.
Boom.
Man, I think like one of the hardest things for a musician, a foreigner, I would say like a foreign musician who wants to make a band, is being in Shenzhen, because it's such a airport city, and half the people, maybe 80% of the musicians you used to play with are gone.
Are gone. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of one of those questions. Like, if somebody new came to the city and wanted to be a musician and was like, Curt, how do I get started? I would have no idea what to tell him anymore. Like, I remember I was playing with this Grateful Dead cover band, the Beijing Dead, like based in Beijing, and like, I remember flying up there. They flew me out there. They did it in style. It was so cool. And I flew up there just being like, yeah, like the Shenzhen, Beijing, like bridge connection, man. Like 2 music scenes coming together. There's no 2 fucking music scenes. Like up there's like, it's like a real thing going on, man. There's like 100 bands and like 20,000 music lovers that like, it's not just like your friends that come to your shows. It's like real people that love music going to shows. And I remember being so intimidated
in Beijing,
by playing that first show up there, and like just being like, oh my god, this is
like, the audience is very critical and demanding, and
it's real, like, you know, like it's like this room is packed and I don't know a single person in here.
Right.
Okay. This is not like I hop off stage and suck, and my friends are just like, well, dude, it was good. It was good.
It was all right.
I was outside half the time, but it was good. It's like, you know, like, but that show was great with the Beijing Dead. That was a lot of fun, and that opened up the door for Lips McKenzie to go up there. For the 2, we did Beijing twice, which the first time we did it is another one of my favorite Lips McKenzie stories. And I'm totally going to toot my own horn on this one. I'm sorry. Feel like a dick.
I want to hear it.
We opened up for this dude. I forget what his name was, but he was a blues legend, and it was like a big deal that he was
Chinese? Like an American blues legend?
Yeah, he was an American guy. He was an American blues
like
legend.
Old school guy?
Yeah, he was probably, he was in his late 50s, early
name?
60s. I forget.
Oh, fuck.
So like he was that legendary, right?
Right.
But the place was
some like Muddy Waters. Or?
Well, the place was fucking packed for this guy. Like, we were just supposed to open for him. And, you know, we do the sound check. We go get something to eat. We come back. There's a line around the block. And me and Eric immediately just start having anxiety attacks because we're, you know, pussies. Like, we come back. We play the show. We absolutely slay the show. We're back in the green room. And this dude comes, like, storming into the green room. The door fucking blasts open. He's just like, I told this fucking agent to not hire a guitar player that was better than me.
No
what
shit.
The fuck? Like, and I was like,
what? No way.
Yeah.
Fuck. Crazy.
Yeah, I think he went that way. And then after that, his name was Tom Forst. It's come back to Tom Forst, the blues legend. After that, he was super cool. He was just like, yo, I could tell you're super into Phish. You sound like Trey. And I'm like, that is the nicest thing anyone has ever said to me. But yeah, that was funny. That was a good one. Yeah, dude, Beijing. So yeah, man, I mean, like back in the day, 7 years ago, I would say there was some semblance of a scene here, for sure. Even another point of pride is the most recent edition of Lonely Planet. Have you seen this?
No.
In their description for Shenzhen, it's like, go to the shopping malls, go to Huaqiangbei, and while you're at it, check out the strummin' indie music scene.
Really?
No.
Yeah, and like Graham Wan from Sin City like sent me that picture, and I was just like, that's us. We made it. We did it. Yeah, like we're in Lonely Planet.
Fuck, that's funny, dude.
Nice.
Yeah, man.
And but okay, so the one thing I realized when I was doing like the hip hop parties, right? I mean, because kind of like I wasn't ever really planning on doing parties in my life. It wasn't like something I ever even fucking thought about until I came here and got involved with some DJs that were throwing some parties and shit like this. And from a foreigner, perspective is that was like there was no place I could go to and listen to hip hop and just fucking chill, like have some drinks with your boys and fucking
right,
you know,
just vibe out, right?
Yeah, vibe out to the music you love, which was like the reason why I started doing the parties. But I would have never got this fucking idea if I didn't see some fucking Chinese b-boys just fucking practicing in a park.
Oh, that's
you know,
badass.
doing some breakdancing and shit like that.
Oh man, and that's so cool.
And I was like, fuck, man, like.
So they are into that. I mean,
there's got to be like a scene, and then from there I realized that, you know, meeting these b-boys, and then I fucking meet all these MCs and meet all these fucking DJs who are fucking scratching, and they have like scratch tournaments and fucking Chinese rap battles and b-boy battles and shit like that, and this shit already existed.
Right.
Just I was just fucking not in that little bubble.
Right.
So the question is back to you about particularly Shenzhen, is that you were definitely in this like foreigner bubble of musicians and bands.
That didn't happen right away though.
But have you like crossed the line and started like discovering like Chinese bands locally and what they're doing? And what kind of like music scene exists on the Chinese side? You know, that we don't fucking see. It's not in our fucking Shenzhen party post or That's Magazine or fucking on my buddy's WeChat, you know?
Right. I mean, that's the local Chinese bands like have always been there, man. Like one person who I would consider a type of mentor in my life. You remember the band Pokemon Dad?
Yep.
Their front
they were
guy.
kind of like a big band. They're one of the biggest.
They're the ones who knocked the door down for all of us to start touring, man. They're the first ones that ever went and did that around China from Shenzhen. But their front guy, he was really, Greg Merrill, brilliant human being, was always like dead set on that idea of having local bands at any show that we went on. Right. Just like complete integration of foreigner bands, Chinese bands playing together in this whole like unified thing. And like there were some really awesome bands that we played with, like Salty Air, which I think is still kicking. Really sweet, like Explosions in the Sky style post-rock band going on. We played with this other wild psychedelic band called Lazy Cat. Mm-hmm. That they started out just playing like traditional Chinese instruments, traditional Chinese songs, and then they started adding like delays and like distortions to like traditional Chinese songs on traditional Chinese instruments, and like that shit got fucking wild, you know. Okay. They were around. Die Chihuahua Die, they've always been around. They've played shows with us. Panic Worm, they've been around. So like it's been there. I think Panic Worm is from Wuhan though, but they play down here quite frequently. So it's always been there, man. You know, we've always kind of tried to be tapped into that zeitgeist or that, you know, into that line of, you know, local things going on. And that's helped out a lot with us, like, you know, getting connections for certain studios. Like at the current school that I work at, I'm working on putting on like a citywide battle of the bands for the international schools in Shenzhen to happen at our school. And the only reason we can do that is because I have connections with these studios that are going to donate the equipment to make it happen.
Right.
So it's always kind of been there. It's just like I said before, man. It's just things have kind of like grown up a little bit. You know, we've kind of taken it out of the basement and turned it into a little more professionalism, you know, if that makes sense. Mm-hmm. So, you know, I would like to see more of it. I would just like to see more of the underground going on.
Scene and,
you know, like
there is still a bit of a lack of the venues for that. Like,
Brown Sugar Jar is still kicking ass. The two shows that we played, that's where we played. Like the last location they had in Science Museum, like right underneath the barbershop. And yeah, they have a bunch of awesome Chinese local bands. We just played
Former Public,
yeah. They took over Public?
It's the sign still says like Public / Brown Sugar Jar, but it's very much
they're in Sambuna.
Brown Sugar Jar.
Yeah. I'm glad that spot's still alive, man.
Yeah, dude.
Public was like one of the best spots, dude. Like,
yeah, dude, and it's still kicking ass, man. They still have some pretty gnarly like underground punk rock shows.
Nice.
That go down there.
It's small compared to like their other venues.
The original Brown Sugar Jar was like a legit.
It was like 3 stories or something. 2
yeah,
stories.
It was 3 because they definitely
big.
did have that like secret chill out area for the artists like way up there. Definitely not the same size, but you know it's literally underground.
Literally underground.
Yeah,
Yeah, but that's good because After public, like for a long while, it's been a bit silent. That area.
Yeah, I mean, like, my third party, the party that like blew me up.
Was this the hip hop one that was the year before I came?
There was one there.
Was that public?
Sure.
Yeah, dude. Like,
I mean, that put me on the map.
Man, I remember Adrian and Rue talking about that. Like, that was like the best night of their lives. Like up until that point.
It was fucking amazing. Cause like the first party I did had like fucking 10 people. Like all the b-boys I met on the fucking in the park, they all showed up.
Right.
But that was it, you know. And then the second party I did, we had a different venue, and like 70 people showed up, and it was all like the b-boys, like
and just like friends. A couple of their homies, a couple of their friends,
and maybe like 10 foreigners, you know.
No fly girls.
There was fucking
Freddie. I don't know how the hip hop community does their stuff, but at prog rock jam band shows, there's never girls, dude.
There's definitely girls, dude. I mean, the first party, no, there was no girls. The first with 10 people, but second time there was fucking girls, and every other time there was fucking girls. But that third one, like I was like Jesse. You remember Jesse?
Yeah, fuck yeah, dude.
Like he was
Metasonic, man.
Yeah, Metasonic. He was doing hip hop parties as well, but I don't know the difference between like how I did it and how he did it, and why I became more popular. But
I think, I don't want to speak for the guy, but I think he kind of intentionally kind of kept it we'll say exclusive. Like wanted to keep it like underground, a little more hipstery kind of vibe going on, because he would also have it like in random ass locations that nobody knew how to get to.
I mean, I started in fucking like a sports bar.
Right.
Like my first party was in a fucking sports bar with like no people. I mean, I don't think it has to do with like underground or fucking whatever. It was just
right. You've always had your shit together for as long as I've known you, man. You've just always been like good at this kind of thing. You're a businessman. You're not a businessman. You're a business man.
No, I never looked. I mean, in retrospect, like I wish I would have like in the 3 years that we were doing it, I wish I would have looked at it more as a business, and then just having fun with my best friends.
Right.
And that was a big like because we were doing something super cool before hip hop blew up in China.
Right.
Like the guys that we were paying a few hundred kwai to fucking play at my events, like now you want to hire them, they're fucking 100,000.
Oh right, yeah. Then yeah.
You know,
yeah.
like it's totally just, so like on the business platform, on the business side of it, like I definitely didn't capitalize on the opportunity that we created. Because there was a time where we fucking ruled the city,
right,
in fucking hip hop, and could have done a lot more with like
right.
the branding and clothing and fucking whatever the fuck we wanted to do.
I was gonna say, man, because you also got to give yourself credit too, man. Like you had a lot of this going on the manpower of what, 3 dudes, you know,
yeah.
Like it was. I don't want to say it was a pipe dream, but it was, you know, it was,
definitely
it was 3 guys, and it blew up, dude. That's something to be fucking pumped about, dude.
No, it was definitely one of like the best experiences of my life.
Yeah,
you know, for sure. And,
yeah, man.
And actually, like one of the things that like actually like kind of that you said to me one time that like made it really like worthwhile, because like for me, like I'm not a musician, I'm not an MC, I'm not a fucking DJ as much as I wish I could be and fucking be there. It's fucking just not what I am. And I don't make the party fun. I just fucking do a good job at advertising the party.
You set you set the scene.
But like you told me one time that I think it was like the first party, the Halloween party that you did. And
I know where you're going with this, man. I still hold by this, dude.
And you're like, it was like one of the first times that you realized that, like, this is what I want to fucking be doing.
Dude,
know?
I'll tell you exactly what I told you, man. There was a picture from that fucking dome party that was taken from the back of the audience, and just like ant size, like it was like me, John, Adrian on stage with instruments, and just like this sea of people. And like I used to look at that exact same style of photo of like my favorite bands, right, and be like, wow, dude, that would be so cool. And then like seeing that photo and just being like,
you in there?
And like I'm like for like infinitely indebted to this guy for like making that happen, because that was really my first taste of ever playing a huge fucking show like that. And yeah, man, I've told you this. I have a collection of like I have that same picture of every Shady Monkey party that we've played, like from that same angle that like I have saved on my computer that I will always have with me, dude. Fuck yeah.
And that was like one of the like things. Like, man, I'm really like proud of like what we did. Even though we could have done more, and we could have fucking, if we were more of like business type or took it more serious, we could have taken the brand even farther. But to be able to fucking hear these stories from people like you and others who are like really created the magic of the party, and
right, and hold these memories in such high remembrance.
Yeah,
right.
Man, it really like
yeah, it's cool, man.
Makes me proud of like what we did.
And fucking hey, dude, we did some pretty cool stuff, dude. Like. I don't know if you were ever at the Tunnel Stock show. Like,
no, I don't think I've been to one tunnel party. It was at the same party, right?
Yeah, it was the same tunnel, but like with live bands this time.
Yeah,
I can't believe that. Like, I can't believe they like let us do it. I remember cops showing up and just being like, "Y'all are staying safe, right?" Being like, "Yes, sir."
Yes, sir.
Okay, and like I remember after that, me and John just being like, "I can't believe we just did that." That might be the single coolest thing I've ever done. Yeah. So yeah, man. I mean, if there's anyone, I've met a couple people. I had some dude message me a couple months ago, just like, "Hey, dude, I'm moving down to Shenzhen to be a musician," and I was just flat out like, "Dude, don't."
It's not the city for it.
It's not anymore, man. And he was moving from like Dali, which like I've never been there. I would love to go, but from what I've seen on WeChat posts and what I've heard, like Dali has like some pretty ripping stuff going on. I feel like that's kind of where the hippies dwell. And like there's a crazy like metal scene and like skate scene in Dali, It's like why would you ever want to leave, dude? So I don't know. It's definitely one thing that plagues my mind day to day with playing music. I'm super pumped to be playing in No Disintegrations, but we're probably not going to do that many Shenzhen shows, man. It's going to have to be like a party when we do that. Because gone are the days of playing shows every weekend and people showing up. Yeah. As depressing as that is.
Well, for sure, we will organize something. At least now we said, as we started in the beginning, the Halloween.
Somehow. Remember it.
Halloween.
Thinking about it.
We will start thinking
all the
about
broken promises on the Sign Our podcast.
It's an emotional thing, man. It really, like every Halloween, I think of the same shit.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
Thinking about it.
I mean, now we have months ahead.
But like the thing,
goal,
like the before you had this new band, like it was always easy. Okay, I know I got my 3 guys who are gonna fucking kill the show, and then Mafia's gonna slay it with his music.
Right.
It's like a no-brainer. Like you could put whoever the fuck you want up front. People are still showing up to the party.
Right.
Or fucking talking at the bar or whatever. Boom. The band comes. Fucking glues it together. Like this is the moment where fucking the party clicks. Like boom. This is the fucking best place to be.
And dude, when that band started, I was just pumped to be in a band again. It's none of this like open mic, like open jam shit. Like I was pumped to be like hanging out with like 2 other dudes, brotherhood band. I definitely had my moments, my identity crises moments of being in a cover band. But it's shit like that, man. That didn't matter. Like fuck it, being a cover band. I'm like rocking huge crowds with my 2 best friends. Like I don't think people like get to do that often, man. Like, and I'm me and Adrian used to talk about it all the time. How grateful we were just for that.
So can I ask you one question?
Lay it on me, bro.
So if we did another Halloween party, would you and your band consider doing some cover songs for the party?
Dude, I'm down. SJ. See, I didn't know this. I didn't know this in the hip hop community that like doing covers of other people's tunes is like a no-no. Like I didn't know that, because like in the jam band thing, like playing covers of other people's tunes is like sweet. Like can't tell you
normal, right?
Well, like how many Phish shows I've been to where they're like, dude, they're playing Zeppelin, like fuck yeah, dude. And like I really wanted to do Changes by Tupac. So I was like, I would love to arrange that for just nothing but like guitar and bass. That'd be a really sweet like science project. And SJ was just like, no, Just like, well, okay. Can I ask why? And it was just like, nah, man. Like in the hip hop community, like you don't sing somebody else's rhymes, man. You don't do that. It's like, okay, all right. I can respect that. And then, in the studio, one of the songs we're doing is an old Dragon Turtle tune that Adrian wrote like some of the best lyrics for. And I told SJ, I was like, dude, we're doing this tune. It means a lot to me, and you have to sing at least the 2 like opening lines that Adrian wrote. And like even then, SJ was just like, I don't know, man.
I can't do it.
And I was just like, dude. He's like, all right, I'm gonna need you to get explicit permission from Adrian that I sing these lines. I was like, okay, well, okay. I'll message him right now. And like Adrian's the coolest dude in the world, man. He came back, which is like, fuck yeah, dude. Like that song's amazing. And like I would personally be like kind of insulted if you didn't sing those fucking lines, dude. Just like, all right, that's my boy. I already knew that's what the answer was gonna be.
Right.
So yeah, to answer your question point blank, I'd be so down to do covers of the Shady Monkey thing. There'd have to be a band meeting about it. Or I would also be down just to like put together a whole separate cover unit.
Because I think, I mean, not to put like the I'm thinking bad. I don't want to think like I'm thinking bad about your new band and the original music you're creating. Just for the party vibe.
Oh, people want bangers, dude.
People want to hear their favorite shit.
100%, man. And this is a lesson that
it's a Halloween party. It's not like a fucking
100%, man.
Exclusive show. Everyone's coming to see you guys.
Right. And that's John taught me that lesson pretty hard. It's just like these parties, man. Like no one gives a shit that you're like a good guitar player. No one wants to hear your like original music, man. Like thousands of people, hundreds of people aren't coming to the show to like watch you play guitar. They're coming to like party down to music that they know. We are essentially like DJs. Like we need to think of it as being like a DJ band. Like even to the point where like there were some tunes where we wouldn't play the whole song because like everyone knows like the first like 2 verses and 2 choruses. And then you just got to like DJ it and mix it right into the next song.
Right.
Nobody wants to listen to, that Mo Money, More Problems is like 5 minutes long?
Yeah.
And it's just that same bass line, that boom, doom, 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 boom, 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 for like 6 minutes. Like, it's a great song, but like at a party, no one wants to listen to Mo Money, More Problems for 6 minutes, man. Yeah,
that's very true, man.
Hey, man, John Howland, very wise man. Taught me a lot with stuff like that, for sure. So
yeah, it's upset that he's gone, dude.
Dude, I was talking to him the other day, man, and he is, man, I'm so happy for all my friends, dude. He is just like living fucking life now, dude.
Colin
like,
Phil's fucking
dude, they had like he sent me their tour schedule. They have a sweet tour lined up. They're doing like 15 shows in 17 days. And like in typical John fashion, I was just like, dude, that's sweet, bro. And he's just like, half of them aren't booked yet. It's like, just don't worry about it, man. It'd be sweet. Like he was telling me he just bought a new car. And he's taking, I gotta look at what he said, if it's 6 weeks or 8 weeks, just like a fucking massive road trip. Right. He's like, yep, I'm hitting up like every Shenzhen homie, like from point A to B. And like he's meeting Adrian in Bend, Oregon, where Charlie lives. I'm just like, oh my God, dude, borders open up so I can make it to that party, dude. That sounds so awesome. So yeah, man, John Howland's doing great, man. That really warms my heart. Both him and Adrian are just kind of kicking ass right now,
Well, it sounds like you're about to kick some ass with your new band and new music. And
fucking A, dude. I'm ready to go. Championship fight, 12 rounds, bro.
Freshly married.
Happily married.
We didn't get into that. Fucking switch lovers.
We have a dog now.
Fuck.
Dude, I have like a domestic family now.
Dude, I got the
fucking weird,
0.5 kids.
Oh, man. There needs to be a nice fat number in my bank account before that conversation.
No, I'm not talking about kids. Like the dog is like the 0.5.
Oh,
it's
dude.
Like half a kid.
Oh, yeah, man. Oh, but that's not even where it ends, dude. We got 2 cats.
Oh, fuck, dude.
Dude, yeah, man. It's
you guys have a big family, dude.
Yeah. No, I'm quickly turning into a boring old man.
Well, man, I'm glad you fucking stayed here in Shenzhen.
Dude.
Most of the people that I was close with, or friendly with, have all left. There's still a few soldiers left. You're one of them.
Fuck yeah, dude.
And I appreciate the fucking journey that we went through all these years.
You
and the
bet your
experiences
goddamn
that
ass. Yeah.
we've had. Appreciate that you came here today to be on our podcast.
Dude, guys, this is like kind of a mini dream come true. Like,
Thanks for coming.
Thank you
It's
so
been
much.
a great
Yeah, man.
journey.
Like, I don't think you guys know. This is like my running at the gym podcast. So I'm so pumped. Thank you so much, guys. This was a blast. For real. Let's do it again sometime.
I think when your album's out and you're getting ready to do your first show, we'd bring the whole band with you.
Yeah.
We'll fucking take it
Yeah,
back.
we'll do
Yeah, hell yeah. That'd be a lot of fun, for sure.
And we think about fucking Halloween.
Yeah.
Yeah. So some things down the road, we'll keep you all guys posted. Thanks for everyone for listening until this moment. You will find some links and connections to follow Curt and the band down here, and stay tuned for the next episodes and the next events, and mostly for the Halloween
Let's see.
party.
We'll
No-
see.
no
We'll
promises,
see.
dude.
No promises.
We're working on it.
We're out. We're done.
Signer out. Thank you, Curt.
Peace.
Boom.